Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing. I'm bringing you reading for the week of Monday, June 19th through Sunday, June 25th. We are going to be doing something a little different this week. We are going to actually be covering an astrologically based reading for all 12 signs for the week of Monday, June 19th through Sunday, June 25th. And the reason that is right now we are going through a very powerful time energetically. It's almost kind of like a portal gateway, because there's just truly so much going on right now that is pushing everyone for transformation, everyone for huge changes, everyone for taking some big leaps of faith, going for it, taking a risk, doing those things. And it all actually started with our full moon that we had on Friday, June 9th, and that was the full moon that was in Sagittarius. And boiled down, essentially that full moon was all about it's a time for change. It's a time to take a chance, take a risk, take that leap of faith. So since then, what's been going on with the planets and the transits and everything, everyone has since been pushed to take the time to reflect. There have been secrets revealed. There have been surprises. There has been a lot of time spent evaluating what is it that we desire? What do we want from here? Where do we go from here? What are our next steps? There's also been some evaluations as far as, okay, well, what if I wouldn't have made that choice? Because some, with the evaluating everything, realize, okay, I made the wrong decision. I took the wrong career path, or I chose the wrong person. So there's been a lot of, okay, well, what ifs? What if I would have done this? What if I would have done that? Why did things turn out the way they are? But it really has been a lot of reflection, evaluation, contemplation. That's been necessary. So now as we're heading into this new moon, well, before we hit the new moon on Friday, we're going to have a solstice on the 21st, which is Wednesday. And then right around the corner on Friday the 23rd, and it's Eastern Standard, it's going to be around 10:30 in the evening, around 10:30 in the evening. And it's a new moon in Cancer. And that's on Friday the 23rd. And that new moon, it's going to be intense. Now, you'll find that for some of you, it's not going to be as intense as the past ones, but because of everything that's energetically going on, it's going to be fairly intense for most. And Cancer is all about mothering, nurturing, those, caring. For most, you really need to primarily focus on this time caring for yourself rather than caring for others. It really is a time to do something for yourself. Go get a massage. Go spend time with friends. Go do something fun that you enjoy. Take a little, if you can take a day and get away from the office and go do something, but take time to do something for yourself, to nurture yourself, to care for yourself. You will find many of you are going to feel frazzled this week, and everyone has been feeling frazzled since we had the full moon on the 9th. That's because this is a huge push to finally take that leap of faith, to finally step into this transformation, because many of us are giving birth to a new life, a new way of doing things, new relationships, new careers. This is a huge time of transformation. So that's why you're feeling frazzled. It's because this is the final, it's a big push. So there's going to be, clear up until the new moon, there's going to be some emotional ups and downs. There's going to be some upheavals. You'll also find that it's an optimal time to release anything related to mother issues. So if as a child you were very, your mother was very critical of you or criticized you a lot, you'll find that now you are very critical of yourself as an adult. This is an optimal week to have some healing work to release that. Or maybe as a child, maybe your parents were very busy with their careers and the focus wasn't on you, and you felt that you were alone. You felt abandoned. Well, now as an adult, that's left you feeling unloved, unworthy. You don't allow anyone to emotionally get close to you because you're afraid, okay, if I let someone close, they're just going to not be there for me. They're going to abandon me. I'm going to be stuck alone again. This is a week to do related work, release work, healing work related to those issues, particularly if they involved your mother. And this is something for many that you'll have to recruit the help of a professional healer An energy healer could be someone that does Reiki, could be someone that does quantum touch. For some, you may be able to actually find a meditation online and do that. But this is an optimal time to take care of releasing and healing anything related to mother issues, mother concerns, anything that's impacted you and is still impacting you at this point. What you'll also find with this new moon is the big key piece of it is communication. Communication, communication, communication. That is huge. So for some, you're going to be pushed to finally open up and share some secrets. For some, you're going to have some information shared. But it's all about communicating externally, but it's also big with communicating internally, because this is a week, this is the time that decisions have to be made. And decisions will be made for many of us. And for some, these are big decisions that you've been putting off for months. So for some, you've been trying to decide which path to go on career-wise or romantically, but you've been putting it off, you've been putting it on hold because you're like, oh gosh, but if I make that decision, my life's going to change. My life as I know it and as I have had it for years is going to be completely changed. Granted, it's for the better, but we're creatures of habit. We don't like change. So you didn't want to have that change. You didn't want to have life change, even though it's good. It's going to bring in everything you've ever wanted. You've still pushed it, kicked it down the line because I'm not ready to have my life truly change just yet. But you will be pushed this week to make that decision. And most people are going to be pushed to make, because for many there has been a big decision that's been lingering for a while, that really has been delayed, that's been put off. You're going to find that this week, particularly up against the new moon, you will be pushed to make that decision regarding this new beginning. For some, it's new beginning in love. For many, it's new beginning in love. For some, it's a new beginning in career. But it's huge, it's big, and this is the time to make a decision. Because by making that decision, you will find that it's going to be successful. You'll find that it's going to be something that's rooted, that has a solid foundation, a solid base, something that will be long-lasting, that can last a lifetime. Because right now is the optimal time to make those decisions regarding personal and professional relationships. Because if you can make those decisions finally, just make the decision, take the leap of faith this week, you're guaranteed success. Because you have all the support from the divine, literally pushing, pulling, and dragging you to make that decision. So be fearless. Make that decision. Know that you are going to have success. It is going to be long-term. It's going to bring you these things that you've been desiring, that you've been wanting, for many of you, that you've been wanting your whole life. Which is why some have been delaying making the decision, because you're like, oh my gosh, I really want this, but boy, it's going to change everything. Everything. But it's going to change it for the better. So I encourage all of you to be fearless, make those decisions. You have a ton of support helping you with that this week. And if you're interested in finding out about the transits and everything that's going on, there's a number of great astrologists that are out there. Some that I really like to follow are Pamela Gregory, Barb Goldsmith, the Leo King, and Kelly Rosano as well. And those are just some that I watch, but go out online, check. There's tons of YouTube videos. There's a lot of greats out there. They have tremendous amount of insight and information. And if you know what's going on astrologically, it really can help you more gracefully navigate through these things. And it can help you also understand why, okay, if you wake up one day and you're very emotional or you are very tired, it'll help you understand why, so that you can just go with it. And if you're tired, take a nap. If you're emotional, let yourself cry. But that way you don't wake up thinking, oh my gosh, something's wrong, what's going on with me? That you can just go with it gracefully. And this is an intense time, but it's good. It's bringing about those hopes, those wishes, those things that we have wanted, that we have been praying for, that we have been doing visualizations for. So this is kind of like a capstone. It's this big final push. So I do wish you all well as you navigate through that. For everyone that's new to the channel, welcome. Glad to have you here. Last I checked, we are at like 9,400 subscribers. So as promised, once we do hit 10,000 subscribers, I am going to randomly select 3 people to do free 15-minute readings for each of them. So if you're new, go on ahead and subscribe, and that will get you eligible to potentially be selected as one of the people who's going to receive a free reading. For all those that have been here for a while, thank you. I do appreciate it. I love all the feedback. I love all the support from everyone. Thank you for everything. let's see, is there anything else before we get started? Because I'm going to do some editing for you guys, so I don't have to restate all of this information over and over again. Okay, well that's it. So we are going to get started, and again, there is going to be a reading for each astrological sign with regards to the week of Monday, June 19th through Sunday, June 25th. For some, you may find that this could possibly extend a week past that, but it's not going to go any further than a week past this time frame. So it really is to help everyone, because it is a pivotal time. It's almost like a big portal gateway that is going to lead to your dreams coming true. It's a big, huge push. There's a lot that has to be done by everyone this week, which is why they want to get these specific messages out for each astrological sign, so you can literally utilize this time, making those changes fearlessly, birthing that new life, that new beginning, that solid foundation, that personal relationship, and for some, the professional relationship of a lifetime that you've been wanting to have, because the time's here and the time is now. And so they're just wanting to provide this additional information to help you with that. Now, for those of you that are interested, the cards that we're going to be using today, I have Doreen Virtue's Saints and Angels, as well as her Fairy Tarot cards. I have the Lover's Path by Chris Waldhair, and the Whispers of Love by Angela Hartfield. And then I have my Bluebird Lenormands, my Gilded Lenormands, and my Sibylla's, all prayed, shuffled, prepared. If we need any clarifiers along the way, we'll use those as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Hello, Sagittarius. This is Nicole bringing you your reading for the week of Monday, June 19th through Sunday, June 25th. I have prayed over the cards, shuffled them, and asked that each of you receives at least one message. This is for a large number of people, so you might find that only one message is applicable to you. Hopefully you'll find more, but if you don't find that there's one, always check your moon or your rising sign, because you might be able to get some information from those. And if you find that none of them resonate with you this week, you should be thankful, because people that have messages in the readings this week are dealing with a lot of things this week with their transformation, giving birth to their new life, and all these shifts and changes that they're going through. So let's make sure you can see those. Okay. So what we have is your situation, the recent past, what you're unaware of, and then recommendations, things that they're recommending you do this week. So right out the gate, your situation we have is a Three of Staves. And this is all about waiting, successful enterprises, successful ventures, planning, the ability to transform goals realistically. So the thing is, they're saying this card reversed speaks of, ambitious plans that aren't grounded in reality, and having, frustrating delays, because it's like he's standing there and he's waiting for, he's like standing there and he's looking out to sea, waiting for his ship to sail, or to come in, for his ship to come in. They're saying for many of you, it's you're watching your ship sail away, sail in the opposite direction. You've put a lot of effort into this, a lot of investment into it, and now you're having to go through the difficulty of watching it sail away. And many of you are feeling like a failure because of this, because it's a result of your choices. But for those of you, it's sailing away. It's actually a good thing. But for many of you, you're very disheartened and upset with that because you did invest tremendously. So for those of you that this is a relationship, you invested a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort with this person, and now you're going through a breakup, or you're going through divorce proceedings. And for those of you that it's love, you actually have someone else, but you're not even paying any attention to them. So for those of you, you see these wands that he's holding on to, they're all leafy and they're full of thorns. So for those of you that this was love and you had to let someone go and you're going through the breakup process, it's been turbulent, it's been thorny, it's been painful. It's really drained you emotionally. And now for some of you, you do have a potential new love there, but you're not involved with them. You're not even paying attention to them because you're so focused on the past of what you're having to let go of. You're so overwrought with the heartbreak that you can't even focus on or even look toward a new beginning that's better than anything that you've had up to this point. That's actually it's actually on a solid foundation. Because for those of you that this is a relationship, you built a foundation, a home, a family with someone, and it was never a solid foundation. The motives were not correct on both sides. Okay, on one side. But there were a lot of lies, a lot of deceit, a lot of hurtful words. Some you were being used for money. You've got this shield here. It kind of looks like a coin. So some of you were the benefactor. You were providing financially for that other person, which is why you're like, dang, I've invested all this money. Now look at her go off with it. But you were being used for the finances. But it wasn't a solid foundation. It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to last. But you're stuck in this state of holding on to that. Even though some of you are really angry, I'm kind of glad that it's over because it has just totally drained you financially, emotionally. But that's part of your transformation. It's letting that go, letting that person go. Because there's something better for you. There's someone better for you. And for many of you, you already have. For those of you that's love it, that the person, you know who the person is, but you're not involved with them. For some of you, you're not even talking. You're not even considering them. But they're the key. They're the key to the happiness, the connection that you desire. Now, as far as what happened in the recent past, you have 5 of Winter. And at the bottom it says, walking away from dishonest associations, realizing that what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness, something that's not worth the effort. And if you see here, he's built up this pile of snowballs. He's got these 2 people standing behind him that he's walked away from. And this card talks about things not going as you expected. In traditional tarot, this would be swords, and swords are all about communications, particularly our thoughts, our internal communications, our internal beliefs. But this is all about, things truly not turning out as you expected. You expected it to be the sun, and it didn't turn out that way. But it didn't turn out that way because being led to a new path, a successful path. It also talks about staying in our integrity, because with this card, when speaking about leaving dishonest associations, people who are dishonest, people who cheat, lie, steal, that when you leave those things behind, for you to remember to stay within your integrity, stay within your kindness. And for many of you, you've been having a very challenging journey with love. But they've tried to break you, and they have broken you apart from this person who is not, they're not honest. They are not coming from the right place. They're not loving. They don't show you compassion. They don't show you appreciation. They're very negative. They lack the honesty, the principles, the moral, the integrity that you have. They don't have the same values. They don't have the same ethics. So for some of you, you've had to let that person go. And that's why some of you are still staring out at sea, angry. Like, okay, I know she used me, and I know I was pulled in, but oh my gosh, I've lost all that money and all that time, and I thought it was going to work out differently, because for some of you, you kept being pulled in for this person. You kept being led to believe that, okay, this was the sun. This was going to bring you everything that you desired, and every time it just would fall apart. And you'd have to scrape yourself along the thorns again, get all cut up and hurt up again, and then you would do it all over again. But you have in the recent past had to step away from that. You've had to see things for what they were. Now, for some of you, you see how he's got all these snowballs built up in a pile right there? And you know, he's had success building this empire of snowballs, but he doesn't have anyone to share it with. So it's an empty victory, because it's lonely. It's a lonely victory. So it's not satisfying because he doesn't have anyone to share it with. So for those of you that had to let someone go, that's interesting. So for some of you, you've had to let someone go, and you were being used for money. That person was not honest. There was a lot of lying, a lot of cheating, dishonesty, deception involved. They aren't the person that was meant for you. But then they're saying, because that person, you realized that they weren't best for you, that wasn't the best thing for you. But some of you, you walked away from something that was good for you. I know that's going to cause a lot of confusion. We will pull clarifiers. Interesting. But these are changes that you've recently made, and they're changes that needed to be made. And for many of you, there were changes that need to be made for quite some time. Now, as far as what you're unaware of, you have 4. You are limitless. And at the bottom, it says, recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to do. And this is all about really stepping back from a situation so that we can look at it from a higher perspective, really be able to see things as they truly are. Also see alternative outcomes, other possible solutions. Letting go of control. Because for some, it's not been a good situation, but you keep going back to it because this is what you know. And for some of you, you feel like you have the control, you have the power. So for those of you that it's money related, yes, you know that they keep pulling you back in, but it gives you the power, gives you the control. You like that. It's also a card talking about, even though when things don't turn out the way that we want them to, it's turning out just how it's meant to be. Now, one other sign had this card, and I don't remember who it was because I've been doing these for hours and hours and hours today. But earlier today, someone had this card. I don't remember who it was. But they're saying something similar. So for those of you that this is a love, this is a person you've been with for many years. You know, swans, they mate for life. And even though it's been very bad, it's been turbulent, and it's been bad for years, you've continued to constantly go back to that person, but that's not the person you're meant to be with. You're meant to be with someone else. They're trying to transform things for you. They're trying to bring something in better for you. They're also saying you have to open your eyes. They're pointing out, this looks like an eye. You've got the eyes here. Even these feathers look like eyes. It's like you're refusing to open your eyes and see the truth. You're refusing to see it. And you have a lot of support. The number 4 is all about being surrounded by divine support, having all the help that you need to make those changes, to make that transformation, to let go of the old, to welcome in the new. Because for many of you, they're trying to get rid of this. They're trying to get you to release this person that you're not meant to be with, because they're trying to bring in the person that you are meant to be with. The person that will make things magical. The person who you can share life with. So you're not stuck by yourself alone with this empire that you built and you have no one to share it with. Because for some of you, the path that you have been on, you are heading down a path of being alone. Because this person that you're in a cycle with, they'll continue to go in that cycle with you for years and years and years and years. But at the end of the day, eventually they are going to find someone else. Because eventually they're going to realize, okay, I'm getting older. I really do want to I really truly want to have someone to share my life with. I don't want to be that person who dies alone. I want to have someone there. I really want to have a connection bond with someone. But because this vicious cycle, this relationship, this marriage, for some of you, you're not even married, but it's like a married couple. Because for some of you, it's like you own things together. You own property together. You have investments together. But they're trying to break you free of this person, because if you continue on this cycle with this person, you will be alone. Because even though you've been with this person off and on, there's not been any depth to it. Because it's not at all been on a solid foundation. Now, as far as what they're recommending you do, you have animals. And this card talks about having, a very strong bond with animals, that animals instinctively trust you. They can sense you are a compassionate, loving person. So animals are drawn to you. It can also speak about being more comfortable with animals than humans. Because animals, they give unconditional love, and they don't expect anything in return. You can leave for work in the morning and you can come home 6 hours later, 2 hours later. You can come home 12 hours later and your dog will be so excited to see you. Unconditional love, tail wagging. That is pure unconditional love. And you don't have to give anything. They'll love you no matter what. They'll love you if they're home alone for an hour. They'll love you if you leave them home for 14 hours. They will love you if you leave them with friends and then come back after an extended vacation. And for some of you, you feel like you keep giving and giving and giving and you're feeling drained. So if you can spend some time with animals, that's going to help you ground, and help you open your eyes and see things. And Sagittarius, you really, it's good for everyone to get outdoors, because that does help give us answers, give us clarity. We can ask that the angels, give us signs to our questions. We can have a conversation with God, Jesus, and the angels, and, put our questions out there, ask them to give us some signs, and they will use nature to give us some rapid responses and give us the clarity, the aha, the epiphanies that we need. So for some, they're encouraging you to go out into nature this week, because you do have to make a decision. You have to get off. You see how he's got this band around his head? You've got to get off this. They're trying to get you off this vicious cycle. And it's with this person. You see how there's these two doves? In some of the cartoons, you would have a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other shoulder. Good versus evil, right versus wrong, the right choice, the wrong choice, the right person, the wrong person. Some of you are trying to choose between two people. But you keep getting lured into the wrong person. Like if you look at this, see how the dog's eyes are blue, his eyes are blue, the cat's eyes are green? Like glowing. It's coming back to that good versus evil. Evil, dark, green versus pure. So for some of you, this stuff's like whispering in his ears. You keep getting pulled back to this person. You keep going in this vicious cycle with them. They're trying to break you free of that. It's almost like he's in a trance. So for some of you, you keep getting pulled in by this person. It's almost like they have some spell over you. For some of you, it's sex. They pull you in with dirty, kinky sex. There's a pussycat in his lap. So that's what they use to pull you back in. And not that dirty, kinky sex is bad, S&M, not that it's bad, so it's like that, but it is bad when that's what that person's using to pull you in every time. If that's all they do to lure you back in, and every time they do, you come at their beck and call, that's not good for you. They're trying to get you to stop, if you think of it like the cartoons where you have the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other shoulder, they're trying to get you to almost like stop answering the devil call, stop answering that wrong call, stop going back to what's not meant for you, not good for you. So if you can get out in nature this week, you will get some clarity. You will get some insight. Ask that the angels give you some answers and information, and they will provide you that. And for some of you, go to a, pet store and pet some puppies, because for some of you, you're just feeling absolutely drained. You're like, okay, I just need someone to not need something from me. So go love on some puppies. Puppies don't need anything from you. They just want some love. They want you to rub their little bellies. And that'll help you feel better. Okay, so let's do these. Okay. All right, let's start with, actually, we'll just go down all of them. So the 3 of Staves. Okay, so you have the letter, denari, which is money, wealth, things that we value, and the merchant, and the merchant's all about, agreements, contracts. See how he's even like standing there watching his ship sail away. So for some of you, you're going through a divorce proceeding. You're waiting for the legal information to come in. And yes, this is denari, it's money, but it's what we place value in, and we don't always place value in money. But many of you have invested heavily in this relationship. And it's like, and some of you have mixed business and pleasure. But you're going through a division of assets. So for some of you, you're splitting. You're watching your ship sail away. So some of you, you are at the point you're waiting for the divorce proceedings to come in. You're waiting for the legal documentation regarding what you are going to be receiving in the ending of that contract, the ending of that marriage, the ending of that agreement, the business venture, the business agreement. So you're waiting on that information to come in. And some of you are getting frustrated and impatient with it. Because for some of you, you have gotten to the point that you're like, okay, I'm tired of this. I can't give any more. I just want it to be done. I just want it to be done. Okay. So for 5 of Winter, we have, let's see if we can spread these out. So we have Fortuna. Actually, I don't know if you guys can see this. So we have the Fortuna. This is all about luck, a positive, unexpected event. Then we have the Giovine Fanciulla, and this is attraction to a younger woman. Then we have the Disgrazia, and that's all about serious destruction, something that's misfortunate, something that comes in rapidly. Total destruction of something. So the Wheel of Fortune is all about fate, and you have the wheel there. It's a Wheel of Fortune, something that's fated. So for some of you, you were attracted to a younger woman. she was actually a blessing. It was fated. The two of you were fated. In the fall, we bring in our harvest. We fill the cornucopia with the abundant harvest that we have. She was abundance for you. She was a blessing. She was fated. But you dumped it out. You discarded the connection with her. You burnt that down. You walked away from that. So for some of you, you're now realizing that because you just burnt that down. You totally burnt that bridge. You know, they always say to not burn down bridges, because you never know if you're going to try to go back to it. But you, no joke, you set that up in flames. It was a gift, it was a blessing, a gift from God, a fortunate, fated connection, and you walked away from her. But now you're realizing that that wasn't the best choice, because you're now alone. So for some of you, you chose the wrong person. So for some of you, you let her go because you went back to this ex that you keep going in this vicious circle with. So you let her go, you went back to the ex, you found out again, okay, dishonest, more lies, more deceit, more deception, and then now you're alone. So now you've built this empire, you have all these great things, but you have no one to share them with. Because you are just setting stuff up in flames. But for some of you, you're not alone. For some of you, she's there. I mean, not there, but you'd have to do some fixing with that. Now, we have the La Donna, di Servizio, di La Mica, and di La Grazia. So, you have the helper, the female servant, the person that, you know, she's all about helping. She's all about assisting. And then you have the friend, the confidant, the relationship of trust. But then you have the lightness. This is all about, you know, tact, sensitivity, irritability. It's interesting. There are 3 different people. Okay. We are going to... Okay. We're going to pull 3 from here. Okay. So you have garden, and the garden's entry to a party you'll go. New friends will arrive and romance may flow. Life's to be enjoyed with nature all around. In this verdant setting, beauty and peace abound. And this card is all about really, you know, new connections, new relationships, new friendships. And then we have the moon. And hopefully the lighting is not too bad. The slumbering moon, when it rises near, means that great honors are bound to appear. Intuition and perception soar in the night. Emotions wax and wane in the moon's light. And this is speaking about lack of appreciation and grief. And intuitively getting information. Oh, okay, on someone. I'm going to tie it together for you here in a second, Saggies. And the last card we have is Coffin. And this says, illness is known, sickness is near. Fate has its own ending to fear. You lose your money, all's hopeless to you. Hopefully you guys don't have a glare. I have the glare. And what is the saddest? Your courage fails too. And it's about loss of money, loss of courage, the inability to overcome our problems, the inability to move forward, to forge forward. Okay, so what they're saying, let's move these out of the way a second. Okay. Now they're saying three different people. She's different from her, and she's different from her. So for some reason, there are 3 women involved. Player, Casanova, Saggies, you have been a Casanova, but it's not helping you. You're in a worse place now than you were. So for some of you, you have this person that you're breaking ties, you're breaking your marriage, you're breaking your contract, you're breaking your vow with. So you met someone new who was your rebound. This person has been helping you get over your ex. Now, your ex, you've had intuitive, you thought it was a relationship of trust. For many of you, it was like also a friendship that had been many years in the making, but built on dishonesty, deception, lies. You intuitively kept getting information that she was not out for your best interest. And you can change the sexes accordingly. If it sounds like your story, it's your story. But to keep things clear of who's who, I'm going to stick with the genders that they're giving me throughout. But you had intuition that, okay, she's not the right one for you. And many of you, she was emotionally up and down. She was in, and then she was out. She'd be back in, she'd be back out. She'd pull you in, she'd push you away, which caused you to have this emotional up and down as well. But they're saying for many of you, she would pull you back in because she needed something. She wanted something. She wanted help. She wanted money. And she would pull you in. She would pull you in with sex, because this card also talks about sex. But she was up and she was down. She'd pull you in, push you away, want you, not want you. But you started to get intuitive information. You started to connect the dots that, okay, this is not good. This is not meant to be. This is not who I should hitch my wagon into. I need to break myself free of this. And they're commending you because you have been in the process of doing that. However, because this card is what you're unaware of, some of you, she's trying to pull you back in. So for some of you, this rebound person that you've been with, you haven't even been spending much time with her lately because your ex has been contacting you, been reaching out to you, been trying to pull you back in again because your ex is worried about money, worried about finances. She needs something. She needs you to come and help and assist again. And you're thinking, you're contemplating it. And for some of you, you haven't taken the bait yet because you have just been totally irritated. And some of you have been in a stance of, at that here we go again. Because again, it's a total vicious circle. It's been this cycle for years. It's simply a lesson. You have to break free. You have to end that. You have to be wise like the owl. You see the owl sitting on top of the coffin? You have to be the wise owl. Shut that lid. Slap some nails in it, slap some super glue on it, put Gorilla Glue on it, put some more nails on it, put some steel on it. Keep that from ever opening back up. Because this relationship, this person is what's keeping you stuck. And they're only using sex, because for many of you, I hate to keep bringing up sex, but for many of you, that's how they keep pulling you in. It's like they're not even giving, now some of you, they might mention love, but what they're saying for most of you, it's not even like she's saying, oh, I love you, let's start a future, let's do this. It's really luring you in with sex. And then when she gets what she wants, she gets what she needs, she pushes you away. Or you find out that, again, she's been with someone else. But they're saying what you are unaware of is that you need to end both of those. Because in order to set yourself free, in order to, unicorns are magical. They're just magical. Look at all these lights all around them. They're trying to bring you something magical, but they can't bring it to you until you let go of this dead weight. For those of you that have a rebound, you weren't seriously interested in that person to begin with. You were with them to help heal your heart. You were with them to help you stop thinking of your ex. And they have been beneficial in that. But what has now occurred is your ex is trying to pull you back in again. And for some of you, there have been hurtful words from your ex where they make you think you're not worthy of anything else, that you can't get anything better. But what you're not aware of is that you can. You just need to see that for yourself. But that's part of the control and manipulation. When someone doesn't, if somebody needs someone, be it for money, be it for sex, be it for financial help, physical help, whatever the reason is, if it's self-serving them, but it's not based on love, it's not based on a solid foundation, which a romantic relationship should be built on. But if it's not built on that, what they tend to often do is tear their partner down, because that belittles their partner. That makes their partner think, okay, this is as good as I can get. And that's how they keep control over you. That's how they keep pulling you back to meet their needs, by tearing you down. But they're trying to get you to step back into your power. They're trying to get you they're also trying to get you to step back and truly see this for what it is. They were saying earlier, you have got to open your eyes. It's time to open your eyes. It's time to come out of this trance that you've been in. Yeah, they're trying to pull you back. Last card, animals. We have the ladro, and this is the thief. And, the thief comes in, it's also robbery, but the thieves, they come in, they're sneaky, they're sly. They just come in to steal from you. And then we have the falsita, and this is all about deception. Oh, that's interesting. They were talking earlier, like you're trying to decide between two people. One person who is faithful and loyal, and one person that's not. One person that's good, one person that's evil. One person that has your best interest at heart, one person that does not. And for some of you, you already know who that person is as your best interest, and you got rid of that. You burnt that bridge down between good and evil. It's a cat. And it's interesting because the markings are the same. They're both like these tiger cats. So you're like the prey. He swap it for whatever is applicable to you, but she preys on you because of what she needs. But it's built on a false foundation. It's totally built on deceptions, lies, deceit, cheating, dishonesty. Everything's dishonest. Everything's dishonest, from the initial conversations of trying to pull you back in, to their intention, to what they want, to what they desire, even to the tearing you down and telling you things that make you feel less than, inadequate, incapable. It's all lies. But they're trying to pull you back in for a reunion again. Because, you see, it's almost like he's helping her up. It's because they need help again. So for many of you, you do have the purse strings. You have the money. So now that you're going through this split, this breakup, this breaking up of assets, they need the financial help. They need the assistance. So they're trying to pull you back in again. So what the angels are encouraging you to do this week is to finally open your eyes, get the clarity, get outdoors in nature, so you can finally break free of this vicious cycle. And for many of you, that truly has you stuck, they're saying like stuck in your head. You've got a lot of fears, you've got a lot of worries, you've got a lot of doubts. Oh, what if I make the wrong decision? What if I made the wrong decision? What if I can't fix things? What if I, can't break free? Because one of the cards was about losing our courage. Oh, where is it? Where is it? It's the death one. All about losing our courage. So for some of you, it's like you've just also lost courage and you're just giving up. But they need you to see the light. They need you to have clarity. They need you to stand up for yourself. They need you to see this for what it truly is. Because the bottom of this deck that we have, and this is the overall energy as to why they're trying to push you to do these things this week, you have the Vitivo. And put that down right there. And the Vitivo, this is the widower. It's the lonely, sad man who is bound to his past. This past is over. It's dead and gone. It's been dead and gone for a very long time. Poppies, they represent death. It's been over for a long time. But if you cannot break free of this cycle that you continuously allow yourself to be pulled back into, you know, they were mentioning earlier, you will have built this empire, and at the end, you will be alone. Because they're saying for many of you, rest assured that the partner that you have been with for a long time, the moment that they get an opportunity to move on, and for good, they will, even though that they've come back and forth for years. Because for many of they're saying for many of you, the partner that your ex that you're trying to finally split and break free of, they're very career focused. They're very money focused, material focused. But we all do, especially as we get a little bit older in life, we do then tend to kind of look at our life and be in consideration of, okay, what is my legacy going to be? You know, who am I going to share my final days with? Who am I going to share this empire that I've built with? Who am I going to share my life with? Because if you've built all these things and you have all these great things to share with someone, but you have no one to share it with and you're all alone, that makes life pretty lonely. And so they're saying for some of you, even though this, because for some of you, it's almost like you put stock in of, okay, she's never going to, or he's never going to go find someone else because, you know, we've been doing this for 20 years and, you know, he still hasn't found anyone else because they just focus on their career and money. And I accept that for what it is, but it's lonely. For those of you, even the times that you've been together with each other, it's been lonely because there's not been a true deep connection. And at some point, she is going to want to have someone in her life long term. And it won't be you. They're trying to break you free of that because the one card that had the unicorn, you are limitless. They are trying to bring you a divine love. And for some of you, you know who that person is. But God can't give you something 200 times better than what you've always had until you let go of what you've always had. You have to let that go. So they're recommending you do that this week. I do wish you all the very best in doing that. Get outside, get some clarity, ask the angels to give you some signs, and then don't be afraid of taking those action steps because you have a lot of support this week to help you do those things. So I do wish you all an amazing week filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings.